Oh, we're so close. With the toss of a torch adorned with flowering vines and seashells into the bonfire and the rise of dancing flames, the Sea Gratis Festival officially begins. I descend from the elevated platform by the shore, give the Sarneo staff to Veri for safekeeping, and then remove the heavy crown from my head.
Thank you, Your Highness.
No need. In the end, I agreed to preside over the ritual for the Sea's Gratis Festival. The reason is simple. Because the sea god was forgotten and hated for centuries, I'm the only one who still knows how to perform the ceremony. Of course, this ritual respected the sea god's opinion, so many of the complicated, extravagant elements were eliminated.
Why did you think the sea god would enjoy a dance that looks like crabs are fighting? It's better to save your energy and make more fried shrimp cakes instead. These are actually delicious.
It's an ancient dance that was passed down for generations. It's supposed to display the sea god's majesty. Actually, you do have a point. It does look like crabs fighting. As I walk into the resting area surrounded by curtains, Raphael examines the pile of crates filled with offerings. It's as if they've formed a small mountain. Because he said the fried shrimp cakes from the city's eastern district were delicious, people rushed to replace their offerings with fried shrimp cakes. Why don't you make more special requests? You could ask their assistance when you dive into the deep for pearls. I suspect the pearls that the Tomb of the Sea God mentioned refer to something else, though.
Aren't fried shrimp cakes special?
Did cry a pearl.
Food in the sea is too soft. Nothing has a unique texture such as this.
He breaks off a small piece and puts it in my mouth. Then he tosses upward a bubble filled with water to wash his hands. Not him using his magic so practically, I love that.
As for the pearls, it can't be completed in a day or two. You also don't have to scour the entire sea for oysters. What you need to do now is...
His fingertip lifts my necklace. His eyes reveal what he's saying. Apply medicine. I loosen my collar and sit off the side. When I think about how this wound is almost fully healed, I feel a tinge of sadness. During this ceremony, I realized for the first time that the sea wasn't completely black. The sound of waves drifts in leisurely from beyond the curtains. It embraces my ears with a gentleness I never thought was possible. I also never imagined that fragments of rainbow-colored light shimmered beneath the dark-colored waves and among towering white crests.
Don't say that. Once your wound heals, you'll have plenty of ways to see it again.
Not him reassuring her. Right, Rafayel? You're getting better at taking care of people. You don't hurt me anymore.
If I couldn't do this simple task well at this point, wouldn't the sea god's divinity be tarnished? However, should you miss that pain, I can help you experience it again.
Okay, King V. No, that won't be necessary. Stop!
Your Highness, someone has brought a prayer flower basket.
Sorry, this moment just reminded me of their, This moment just reminded me of their gem affection card, where, like, her and she's like a princess. Like, guy's serving her, and, like, they have to pretend to be intimate. But ends up, authentic. Marie, who just lifted the curtain to enter, pauses. Her gaze shifts from Raphael's hand to my shoulder. Then she speaks as if she didn't see anything.
It's for you and the sea god.
Of course. You can leave it here.
Yes, Your Highness.
After Marie leaves, I pull my clothes back up and silently glare at Raphael. I bet new rumors about him. She's technically the bride of the sea god. This should be expected. I bet new rumors about us will be circulating around the city tomorrow.
Such as?
It's hard to say. Perhaps they'll mention the sea god's bride in broad daylight doing... Oh wait, that's not right. People shall speak of her doing this and that with the sea god in the dark hours of the night.
What exactly is this and that? I don't understand.
I'm sorry, it sounds to me like there's a smile in his voice as he's saying that, so he's so coy. The prayer flower basket floats into Raphael's hands. He lifts the red, blue, and silver ribbon. Then he fiddles with the seashells inside the basket.
What does this basket of seashells represent?
It's one of the traditions of the Sea's Gratis Festival. Every household prepares a flower basket filled with seashells to exchange with others. The more beautiful the seashells, the more beautiful the blessings they represent. It's how one can convey well wishes to people. Why would anyone want to exchange seashells with me? I tuck that thought away and pretend to be interested as I take the flower basket. Oh my god. This space literally looks like that same corridor in Whalefall City from God of Tides, but anyway. Having changed to lighter clothes, Raphael and I walk along the central streets of the city toward the temple. The moonlight and stars cast a blue glow across the night sky. They're like seawater flowing along the horizon as they rise and fall with the clouds and mist. Try these crispy fish. They're delicious too, and crunchy.
They're slightly bland.
Is that so? Maybe the salty seawater has numbed your tongue.
I told you multiple times already. I'm not always drinking seawater because I'm in the ocean.
I drop a few coins, ignore the stall owner's somewhat bewildered gaze, and shove a bag of crispy fish into Raphael's hands. A decent number of people recognize us, but we tacitly ignore their gawking. When did they put up that statue over there?
I saw craftsmen hammering away at it not too long ago.
At the end of the path stands an exquisitely detailed, majestic statue of the sea god. He wields a trident as he stands above the whitecaps. 1, 2, 3, 4? Your abdomen is well defined. They're putting a lot of effort into flattering you. A chance a little too much.
What do you mean? It's a faithful depiction.
It's far more accurate compared to the previous sea god statues. The older ones were extremely imposing and masculine. Their beards were longer than their hair. When I heard your voice for the first time, I couldn't believe you were the sea god. You sounded too young.
You're not wrong. You saw it yourself in the sea god's tomb. Those sea gods had flowing beards longer than their hair.
I take a moment to recall the statues I saw there. You're still the most handsome one.
You have my thanks.
He doesn't know how to respond! This is so cute! He raises his hand slightly, and the seashells placed near the base of the statue shimmer with a crystalline light. It's akin to a silent response from a god. Seeing my questioning look, he smiles.
I still believe humanity's faith is fragile. The slightest touch can shatter it. However, the meaning of festivals is equally important, whether they are here or where Whalefall City used to stand. Just for today, I can let them be happy for a bit. It's not difficult.
How gracious of you. I hold his fingertips. Raphael, before you fell asleep, you must have been a likable sea god. Even though you've lost your memories, you still long for Whalefall City. You want to awaken all the Lemurians and bring them back to their homeland.
Making unfounded judgments like this is usually a dangerous sign.
Who says it's unfounded? On a small scale, you dislike human worship, yet you still respond to their wishes. On a larger scale, you saved everyone during the lunar eclipse despite the fact they hated and insulted you. And most importantly, I loved you once. It was enough to forge a covenant with you. At least that proves you're worthy of affection. You're worthy of being loved. Now it's your turn.
What?
I gave you plenty of compliments. Isn't it your turn to compliment me now?
Your eyes are bright. Your hair is soft. And you remind me of a proud little crab when you smile. When you're angry, you're like a prickly sea urchin.
Does the last part count as a compliment?
Of course.
Are you into sea urchins now?
If you lived at the bottom of the sea for thousands or tens of thousands of years, you would know how precious it is to see even a sliver of vibrant color.
That made me think of our Raphael. I open my mouth, but I'm unable to find the right words. The basket in my hand sways slightly. I lower my head and see a girl slipping a pink seashell into my basket while taking another one. After we make eye contact, she immediately scurries back to her mother, who's a stall owner selling crispy fish. Colour pink. The stall owner struggles with how she should respond. Then she gives me a forced smile.
See? The people here like you too.
That's not it. It's... Whether it's belated guilt, cautious appeasement, or even more complex emotions that are impossible to articulate, I can't say. I haven't done anything to deserve their affection.
It's because you're you.
His hand covers mine, and it moves past the tricolour ribbon on the basket, so his fingers can intertwine with mine.
All endearing words suit you perfectly.
I'm blushing under all this makeup. By the time we return to the temple, there are a few more colourful seashells in my basket. It's not a lot, however. I hang it by the windowsill. I see Rafayel is about to approach the pool. I quickly run over to stop him. Wait, there's still something we need to do. I take out the floral liquor I had Viri prepare and pour it into a silver chalice. We celebrated with everyone else. Now it's time for our private celebration. The Seas Gratis Festival is also for lovers. People collect elderflowers during the spring and use them to brew a liquor. You're supposed to give it to your beloved on this day.
Does this contain your entire spring's collection?
I bought it. I was still locked up in the tower in spring.
It's all right. I don't mind.
Rafayel picks up his glass and gently clinks it with mine. The floral liquor is sweet. Yeah. After drinking it in one go, I refill both glasses.
Now that it's just the two of us, is there anything you want to say to the sea god? To me?
Huh?
During the ceremony, your chants were filled with other people's words to the sea god. They were not your own. Don't you want to tell me something? Maybe I can make a wish come true.
Some of these are really interesting. I'm gonna say I wish you could fall in love with me soon. We'll see what the other ones look like, but let's do this one. I wish you could fall in love with me soon.
That doesn't count.
Why? Is it very difficult for you?
It's too easy.
Oh, he's so smooth.
Think of a more ambitious wish.
If I was her, I would literally be blushing to the moon and back. So let's try, I hope you'll succeed in your revenge. I hope you'll succeed in your revenge.
Why did you bring that up?
I have a feeling you'll be more at peace once you find the person who sealed you away. It's painful to let hatred brew inside you, even if you don't show it. That kind of suffering doesn't disappear.
Then let me add something to your wish. I hope that when the day comes, I won't regret it.
Was it her who potentially trapped him and that's why he's like worried about regretting it? Or I'm talking about the deep sea. And so what goes through my brain is the deep sea obviously was punishing him for the lie. And then obviously he fell into a deep slumber, but he was still imprisoned there. But who got him that? Who actually put him there and was able to imprison him in the first place? And then also what happened to the previous MC? Because she had a scale. So she technically had one of his emissaries in his protection. A part of me is concerned that it's her. That somehow the previous variant of her is responsible for this. But then it also goes through my head as like, what happened to her? Because she actually disappeared. But she's still her. Obviously, she goes through cycles of rebirth. She's still technically the same person, so is he. Though, for her, it might just be like a semi Like, it's not cyclical rebirth like Raphael, where it's kind of like potentially just the exact same entity, goes to the deep sea, wakes up again later on, da-da-da. As opposed to for her, like, she could die, disappear, but then come back together. Which I would say is reincarnation, as opposed to pure rebirth, which is kind of like a phoenix, which is how I'm kind of understanding Lemurians. And like MC, during Death and Rebirth, that beginning thing where she was like being killed and then brought back to life again and again in the Gaia lab, that to me is cycles of rebirth. But reincarnation is like, oh, you died and then 100 years later you appear again. That's a reincarnation. If I wish for you to not become the sea god, would it be weird?
What makes you say that?
Compared to the sea gods you might be in the future, I prefer Raphael. I don't want you to forget that name. She really likes him for who he is.
I'll need your assistance then.
Remind you.
Help me ensure this name and these memories are deeply engraved in my heart and soul. Make it so erasing them is impossible.
As our glasses clink and the floral liquor slowly disappears, Raphael suddenly holds out his hand to me.
You told me that during the Seas Gratis Festival, humans exchange seashells to give blessings to each other. I've already given you a seashell. Shouldn't you give me something in return?
I touch the seashell necklace around my neck. I rack my brain for what feels like ages, yet I can't think of anything that would be of equal value. I slip a pearl ring off my finger. I've worn this since I was a child. It's not the pearl that the Tome of the Sea God told you to find, but I'll give you a blessing that only belongs to this ring. Pause. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Hold on, pause. No. The pearl can't be his. No, that's too cruel. That's way too cruel. I'll give you a blessing that only belongs to this ring. May all your wishes come true. When that time comes, remember to take me to Whalefall City.
I heard that rings are often gifts that symbolize romantic devotion in the world of humans. Does this mean you've fallen in love with me?
I contemplate his words for a moment before I lean forward and kiss the corner of his lips. Oh my god! What do you think?
I think I need some more convincing proof.
That night, the sound of the waves draws closer. Gentle, melodious music mixes with the laughter. As Fantasia sharks swim overhead, vibrant colors burst before my eyes. Someone reaches out to hold my hand. My veil is lifted, and I'm led toward the light. Then, the music and laughter transform into weeping and screams. All colors fade into a dull grey, and the hand that's tightly holding mine gradually turns cold. What the hell? Seawater engulfs everything. The cold overwhelms the world, and even the last melody played on a flute sinks into deathly silence? But that hand still doesn't let go of me. What? I was here, and then it just went... Like... When the sun rises, come to the beach. I'll take you somewhere special. On the last day of the Seas Gratis Festival, I wake up and find a note Raphael left beside my pillow. Pause. I need to read that again. This could potentially be a nightmare, a prophetic vision, or what? Because that's so odd and jarring. Yeah, on the last day of the Seas Gratis Festival, I wake up and find a note Raphael left beside my pillow. Rosy daylight spreads across the horizon and paints the sky in distinctly warm colors, yet the wind carries an unusual chill. There's a smell. It's a repulsive fishy stench. I swiftly draw my silver sword and block an attack that was aimed at my heart. Yet something akin to sharp claws pierce... Whoa. Yet something akin to sharp claws pierces my shoulder. It's like a coiled tentacle that's covered in thistle-like barbs. They dig deeper into my skin while I struggle. Okay, this has to be related to Hawkrun and the deep sea.
It's been a long time, bride of the sea god.
But we see his visual. Why is his question marks? So that's where you went, Hawkrun. Still maintaining his sanctimonious facade, he emerges from the darkness. Behind him, several grotesque, elongated shadows extend outward.
You were waiting for me.
Your trap is too obvious. The toxin from the barb seeps into my blood. My body becomes numb, but I doubt I'll die from it.
Too bad. That sea god deceived you with a few empty words. You're still under his spell. Do you actually believe he'll save you? He'll only lead you to your death for his own selfish desires.
His eyes gleam with malicious intent, as my consciousness begins to fade and traces of light are gradually devoured by darkness.
Don't resist. Now then, follow me. Everything I've done is for Romirro. I want to prevent it from following the same doomed path as Lemuria.
So jarring, but okay. I was informed that essentially Tidefall Allure, which is one of the 4 stars that you get from the event, takes place essentially during the 6th part of the myth, but like, apparently it's clear at what point it takes place. Sadly, Tidefall Waves don't have access to that yet. You get that later on in the actual completion of the event, but we're going to actually now sit and listen to Tidefall Allure and see if there's any other lore bits for. I'm trying to work a little magic to spark some love in Rafayel. I'm not gonna lie, the allure part is suggestive. It looks so good. It's very wet. Dang.
You brought several rather special things. Crystals, jade, incense, silverthorn flower extract. Therefore, a love spell? Sure, I'll let you try casting it.
Okay, puzzles. I have no idea when this would have taken place during this. Is like, no, not when they were in the camp. Is this like when they're getting closer?
You're standing behind me and covering my eyes with a blindfold. This ritual is very elaborate.
They really do use blindfolds, or like tying together a lot.
It's a shame this silk blindfold is ineffective. What I can see is the hazy moonlight, the boundless tide, and the incense you're waving before me.
This is so funny. She's really trying everything.
Are you using this oceanic fragrance to guide me?
The card with the perfume, like coral or whatever. Like there's multiple cards what they talk about his thing with scent.
Then it should linger in the appropriate places. From here to here. Until the scent fully permeates your skin. You're a quick learner.
This is not law. This is not law.
Ooh, a new step. You put the jade in my palm, and it's dripping in flower extract.
Oh, I don't think that's flower extract.
A recipe that's potent enough to ignite a god's desire.
Oh, how he said that. God damn it.
Come a little closer. I'll give you more of it. The scales on my body, they appear during certain special moments. Such as when a particularly devout offering is presented to me.
This isn't, law.
It's just you and me here. No one will disturb us. So reveal to me your innermost self. You're allowed to touch these scales because your attempt succeeded. And since you've awakened the desire that rests deep within this god's heart, he wants to devour you now.
No, don't play. Don't play again. We're just gonna fix my hair. That was. You know what? The law was the relationship development. Good course star. I think I'm gonna need to study that privately later. Okay, so we're going into part 7. The pain in my shoulder wakes me. As I open my eyes, I find myself in a cage I know all too well. My hands and feet have been shackled. I'm sorry, the tone shift. Back to, like, the serious situation. Sensing a putrid, fishy smell, I see a massive, grotesque shadow on the wall. It's accompanied by the sounds of something viscous being torn and peeled apart. I suddenly recall the spell he cast on me, the one he used to control me.
Indeed, it's an ancient curse, but it's far too weak to control my bride. These magics can't be wielded by humans. Tell me where you found it.
See, I'm gonna carry on saying the doozy. You're no longer human.
So what?
Was he ever?
To save Lemuria, this pain is nothing.
The shadow on the wall suddenly contracts. A moment passes, and it slowly returns to a humanoid form. So many sea monsters parasitizing your body. Aren't you afraid they'll eventually devour you? You'll be turned into a real monster.
The human body is too fragile. It's incapable of helping me in my quest to revive Lemuria. I need a body powerful enough to let me live for thousands of years. But that sea god, he destroyed the body I had painstakingly crafted when he put me in that water prison. He forced me to devour more, and I turn into what you see now.
Noticing the countless festering cracks and deformed joints on his hands, for nothing but shock and pity. Recalling his talk of Lemuria and the implications of his recent words, a theory forms in my mind. So he was trying to save Lemuria. Then he's angry at the sea god, so this ties back into the beginning part of the trailer where people feel like the sea god betrayed them. Are you Lemurian? You were born and raised in Romirro. Lemuria was destroyed tens of thousands of years.
Lemuria was never destroyed!
He yanks the chains and I'm forced to look into his eyes that are filled with ominous darkness.
It's sleeping. It's waiting for me. Once I kill that foolish, selfish sea god, I will become Lemuria's new sovereign. I shall resurrect Lemuria, the only civilization that's glorious enough to rule this world!
He seems to have lost his mind with his obsessive delusions and hatred for Raphael. However, his words aren't complete nonsense. I'm going to test him. Do you want to return to Lemuria?
It's the most beautiful place in the world, and the homeland of all Lemurians. Don't you love your homeland? Wouldn't you want to save it?
In this case, she feels very conflicted feelings towards Romirro. I'm not passionately enamored with Romirro. Despite my feelings, I pretend to nod and agree with him. I understand, but this doesn't have anything to do with me. Why would you kidnap me to save Lemuria?
Don't you remember?
I've been wondering where Elder Almond is, I'm not gonna lie. Where is he in this whole situation? Is he genuinely just asleep, bro? A tentacle tosses something at my feet. It's a small fractured stone tablet. However, I recognize it instantly. The Tome of the Sea God. Wait, fractured? It's very similar to the one in the temple. The patterns and text are almost identical. It's as if it was broken off from that larger stone tablet.
You are the only human who can communicate with the Tome of the Sea God. Go on. Read.
The blood from my shoulder drips onto the stone tablet, and the blurred text emits a faint golden glow. Find a true love. When blessed with a true love's kiss, claim our heart by your own hand. A heart pure, flawless, and filled with love. Best offering can give Lemurians. Wait, hold on. This is a fractured version of the verse. The prophecy from the Tome of the Sea God that I read, it was incomplete.
Do you understand now? If the Sea God wants to reclaim his power, he needs more than true love.
This gets in between them.
True love is just a stepping stone to him.
Hawkrin gives me a mocking gaze that's filled to the brim with contempt.
Akin to how a starving person seeks food, ripping out your heart is the sea god's natural instinct.
I don't believe you. Even if he wants to kill me, I need him to say it.
What a foolish, stubborn lass. Don't tell me you've already fallen in love with him.
The fact that this is all happening after they've probably consummated their relationship in some way. You don't need to know that. Oh, she just confirmed she does.
How unfortunate.
He laughs with malicious delight.
When he remembers everything from those years, he'll ensure your very existence tastes oblivion.
Why would he remember then be mad? Unless she was behind him being captured. Is he referring to what happened before Raphael fell asleep? Hawkrin pulls out a bottle covered in verdigris and unscrews the stopper. An eerie vapor drifts out.
Come, witness the events from the annals of Lemurian history. See how you and that sea god destroyed Lemuria.
I hold my breath. The eerie vapor seeps into my skin in an instant, invading every fiber of my being. Within moments, dormant memories awaken like magma breaking through frozen earth. It burns every blood vessel and nerve in me. It hurts! Stirring pain tears through my body. My mind is plunged into chaos, yet something gradually comes into focus.
Are you willing to be my follower?
Raphael. The massive circular chamber is as dim as twilight. The ground trembles as fractured stones cascade down from the domed ceiling. This is... My body is suddenly pinned down. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, hold on. Hold on. Oh. My body is suddenly pinned down. A sharp dagger is pressed against my chest. Its tip pouring drops of blood. Raphael? No, that's not right. The Raphael before me is a bright and radiant young man, yet the dark blue flame that burns in his eyes and his expression are unnaturally detached. In his hand, he tightly grips the sharp dagger. It's poised, ready to pierce my heart. I can't make a sound. I grab the handle of the dagger and use all my strength to fight against death itself. The flame needed to be recognized by the... He needed the ceremony to be recognized by the oceans. He kindled a new flame after the ceremony, and she went missing, but so did the scale and fish. The trembling tip of the dagger freezes.
Run.
He did cover her escape. Oh, he did cover her escape. Oh my god! Wait, pause. No, I said this. A sacrifice was not made, therefore the deep sea is angry and everyone else must pay the price. Despite MC being willing to do whatever for him, he chooses her over the ocean and his people. But I didn't realize it was this. I didn't realize there was some kind of other aspect. But the detached hostility returns to his eyes as blue and golden light radiates from his body.
As my follower, you must offer your heart to me. A Lemurian bond holds great power, but it's also a chain. The sea god should have no weaknesses or constraints.
My struggle is futile. The blade sinks deeper into my chest. Blood falls as the pain spreads. There's a loud crash, and the restraint on my body loosens. Raphael leans against a wall that's far away from me. Pain has contorted his face. Inside the stone niche burns a gentle yet feeble flame. It's so weak that a breeze could extinguish it. And the flame represents Lemuria's vitality.
Stay away from me.
Those dark blue and golden lights still surround him. However, the blue flames in his eyes have been extinguished, or rather suppressed.
You cannot stay here. Lemuria's flame requires the hearts of our followers to sustain it. This is wrong.
And this is how he chose her instead of his people. Okay. I didn't want to be right like this. I did not want to be right like this. This was not how I wanted to be right. I didn't think it would be this awful and violent and traumatic. Right. Because it's a heart that was, like, willingly given and everything, but I don't really know right now because this whole situation is a bit messed up. Resonance is like magical empathy, and it allows MC to resonate with things across different levels. I've spoken about this previously during Death and Rebirth, but it's also just like the metaphysical plane, the physical plane, the elemental plane, the emotional plane, the mental plane. So this is like for emotions to also guide a resonance, also aligns with the idea of like just how magic could function, to these different degrees. And it says it requires the heart of followers, so it requires the heart of someone who has willingly submitted, but he doesn't want to sacrifice her.
Should it continue, 'tis only a matter of time before I lose control and hurt you again.
Okay, so this is the thing. Raphael is a sea god. This is not just him like being a stand-in and there's like this divinity that takes over him. He is the sea god. It's clearly this aspect of sustenance of Lemuria that comes with this flame, that's taking over him. That's his duty.
You must find a method that will allow it to burn forever. That shall be Lemuria's true path.
How is she not meant to fall in love when he's literally going against his people and caused the fall of his people for her? Like, she's already down bad. Flame from the niche gently floats to Raphael's fingertips. Then it transforms into countless delicate threads of light that flow toward my chest. Shocked, I try to break free, but I find myself bound by these threads. A strange, warm power flows into my heart.
There is a legend. It says the wick of a flame exists in the place where all oceans converge. Find it, and Lemuria will be enveloped in light and endure forevermore.
Lemuria has fallen even current timeline. Water currents embrace me and carry me out of the temple. From a distance, Raphael gives me a gentle smile.
I shall ensure Whalefall City remains exactly as you remember it, until the day you return with the wick.
So then what happened to MC?
This is my promise to you.
Oh, he loves her and trusts her so much with this duty.
For 'tis Lemuria's vow, a bond everlasting.
I just got shivers. His birthday. The fish. The everlasting covenant. Despair and blood pervade the seawater as thunderous ruination buries all cries and screams. I desperately try to push away the darkness before my eyes, but it feels like my body is trapped in quicksand. The more I struggle, the more I suffocate.
That human deceived you. She deceived all of Lemuria.
But she didn't do anything.
A human stole our flame! Lemuria will perish!
Why did the sea god deceive us? Why didn't he protect Lemuria?
The sea god has changed before we even realized it.
The seawater drowns their despair, yet I can't defend Raphael. It isn't Raphael's fault. It's because I didn't fulfill my promise to Raphael. There was no wick that existed in the place where all oceans converge, or at the end of the sea. Lemuria could never exist forever. Lemuria was a civilization that should have never existed. Destruction was its predetermined fate. So where did he get the idea of this wick? Or was he just saying that to give her hope? The last god of the sea perishes. Along with Lemuria, they dissolve into the ocean. It's not a slumber, it's oblivion. He will disappear from this world. I will never be able to find him. See him. Hear the songs he plays for me on the flute. Or see his smile. My heart silently cries out, and it awakens the unwavering determination of my former self. I won't let Raphael die. I will save him. And the price that must be paid, it doesn't matter. In the violently trembling deep sea, the Someneo's staff I wield ignites. The cold flames illuminate the gaze that's a breath away from mine. Shock, sorrow, anger. I can't exactly make out the emotions in his eyes. I only see the mark of our bond on his collarbone. It's like a stream of blindingly bright burning blood. Countless threads of light transform into runes. I raise the staff and let a phantom pierce his body. I hear my own heart as I speak. Every single word is a part of a merciless command. With the power of Lemuria's vow, Raphael, he shall be forever imprisoned here, until Lemuria welcomes the opportunity for rebirth. Until the world reaches that moment, you can be awakened. His divine gaze, once clearer than seawater, transforms into a black tide. It freezes when he looks at me.
You betrayed me.
Once the seal is complete, he's plunged into the depths of those abyssal waters. I hear a deafening sound, as if the entire ocean is being split apart. Oh my god. Boundless black waves surge in from all directions. His dissipating figure becomes rain that falls upward. I will cut out your heart with a dagger honed, my darling. And in love's name, your heart will become my faith. Your body will be washed clean, shine like a pearl. I will care for your heart. I will care for your heart. Till we meet again and you reclaim it for yourself. The last wisp of smoke dissipates, and the bottle clatters to the ground. The tide of memory recedes as my consciousness returns to the cold, gloomy tower.
Do you remember now? You stole the flame and sealed away the sea god, and he trusted you so easily.
And steal.
You are the ones responsible for Lemuria's destruction.
Oh god, this is so painful. My mind is still reeling from the impact of those memories as I lift my head. My gaze focuses on the former Castellan. Then it shifts to the silent figure standing in the shadows behind him. Raphael. I don't know when he arrived. However, his cold gaze has told me everything. He saw my memories as well. Oh my god, this after they literally both have fallen in love. Again. Walken continues his endless monologue, but I can only hear chaotic noise. I stare blankly at the figure before me. Our gazes lock, and we freeze under the moonlight. My thoughts also seem to be frozen in place.
We'll deal with him first.
A faint whisper that only I can hear reaches my ears. I give a slight nod in response.
He will kill you, cut out your heart, and leave your body out to rot. You will not receive a proper burial.
He has no idea of what actually happened, it seems.
If you want to live, your only option is to kill him before he can act.
Really trying to get between the two of them, are you
Your
stupid?
bond with him is your sharpest blade. You can order him to take his own life. As you can see, anything is possible.
Yes, I remember. I was the one who sealed Raphael. This is what they were hinting at. Right, so it was her. Well, obviously it was her. Like, we literally just went through the sequence, but I'm like, now I'm remembering earlier when they were talking about, oh, when we find out he sealed you. Or when we find out who sealed him, etc. And like, I was like, wouldn't it be interesting? And of course, it always comes back. I try to speak as calmly as possible. But I'm also responsible for Lemuria's downfall. Why is Raphael your only target for revenge? Don't you hate me too?
Of course I do. However, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones if you kill the sea god.
Remove my shackles then. Can I do anything if I'm like this? I lift my chin slightly. You better hurry. He's already here.
Huh?
A tall, slender figure appears under the moonlight. Raphael raises his hand and summons the Tidebreaker Trident.
How convenient. You've delivered yourself to me.
The chains that bind me snap. I rub my sore wrist before materializing a silver sword. I take 2 steps forward. In suffocating silence, Raphael is the first to speak.
It was you.
You let Hawkrin escape on purpose. He was used as bait so you could find out who sealed you away. And that person is me.
Correct. The greatest weakness of Lemurians is that bond. And a sea god cannot have weaknesses. He must kill the person who forged the covenant with him. That way, there will be no one left in the world who could restrain or threaten him. And only then shall he become an invincible god. Regardless of whether it's for Lemuria or for myself, I must kill you.
He speaks those cold words, although I know it's just an act. I can't help but think. Perhaps these words also contain his true feelings. We don't need to say anything else to each other. I raise my silver sword as lightning flashes at the tip of the Tidebreaker Trident. Blue fiery power surges around Raphael's body.
Farewell, bride of the sea god.
When the tip of my sword clashes with the Tidebreaker trident, our weapons are diverted to the side. I love them together so much. They are such a good couple. As the light fades, Hawkwind's eyes are filled with terror, yet he cannot move. His body shatters amidst flying sparks. Putrid stench fills the air as viscous fluid seeps between the bricks and spreads across the floor.
Don't taint Lemuria's glory with your disgusting ambitions. A man who lost himself to madness has no right to save Whalefall City.
Hawkwind's eyes bulge with fury as guttural sounds escape his throat, and he crumbles and turns to ash. Raphael withdraws his trident and brushes away the dark embers from his body.
Your hand.
A small flame dances from his fingertips and travels up my forearm. The fluid and bloody marks left by the shackles disappear.
You are afraid of me. What's wrong? Did you think I would actually kill you?
I'm not afraid of you, I'm the one who sealed you away. And I'm also the key that will allow you to reclaim your power. You have every reason to kill me.
If I asked you to, would you willingly offer me your heart? I want you to answer honestly.
This was painful. Yes. This heart has always belonged to you, and I promised it to you before. So yes, I'm willing to return it to you.
Then why are you crying?
I blink and realize tears are threatening to fall from my eyes. Being willing doesn't mean I'm not afraid of death, and I owe you an apology. I understand it can't erase a fraction of your suffering. His fingertips, oh god. Just the idea of him down there alone for so long. His fingertip is cold as he presses it against the spot where my beating heart is. Our noses almost touch. We're so close that one breath will close the distance between our lips.
What I want is a heart with pure and utter devotion. Its love for me should come from the very depths of one's soul. Do you think it is that?
I don't have an answer for you. Even if it was, this heart now bears an invisible fissure that can never be fully mended.
The answer is clear. Your heart is of no use to me. For now, at least. Go back. Your injuries haven't fully healed yet. You should get some rest.
All right. I murmur in agreement, yet neither of us makes a move to leave. The moonlight casts shadows on the window bars. It resembles a wall of thorns that gradually spreads between us. I thought he was just protecting her. Like, oh, you know what, I don't want to go through this. I didn't think that it would even get even more dangerous than the situation was. I really love that the narrative is never that simple. There's always extra layers added, and it really just adds to the experience, but god, that was painful. And now there's a fissure between them. Oh my god. At least Hawkwind's dealt with, but... Okay, so far, like, quickly I'm looking back at everything that I said, and like, a lot of the predictions were right. The only thing was just like, I really thought that the water levels would be going down, but alas, that's the one thing I loved. Oh well, it is what it is. I still have to wonder, where did the little fish go? Because technically, then I'm assuming that the old version of her died, and then that's why she was then eventually reborn, because she essentially put a curse / her own prophecy in play that, you know, when the world state enters a specific set of conditions, that's when she'll be brought back. Well then, Part 8. The path from the tower to the temple isn't long. However, it feels as if we've been walking for an eternity. After that day, we continue as if nothing had changed. Yet everything is different. We no longer watch the faint light on the horizon in the morning, nor do we light all the candles in the temple on cold night. The images from that vision are like an inescapable thorn. It has pierced me and Rafayel. Dusk falls when Rafayel tells me he will temporarily leave Romirro. That's spelled incorrectly. To search for the pearl in the deep. It's mentioned in the Tome of the Sea God. I'm really concerned that the pearl is actually that tear from the trailer. That only happens after she leaves. It's a nice one, I'm going to say it. We part ways on the beach. He dives into the sea, his tail catching the sunset's light in all of its beautiful iridescence. The waves and ripples will never settle. Likewise, I'll never see him again. On the last night of summer, an unprecedented storm falls upon Romirro without any warning. The water has risen past an average person's waist. With the rain, they rapidly engulf every building, shop, and slope. I watch from the top of the temple. Beyond the rain lies a hazy black ring surrounding everything. The seawater surges and churns. I only gave out the order to reinforce the embankments and clear the waterways. Unfortunately, when faced with this kind of storm, it's futile. Another building collapses. The rising waters carry the rubble, and people screams in all directions. Someone bobs up and down in the current. The backwater carries them toward me.
Help! Help me! Someone!
I recognize her. She's one of the ladies in waiting who served me in the temple.
Help!
Countless images flash through my mind. They overlap and intertwine. The faces of people below the tower. Those looks of disgust or apathy when I was forced to perform the wave ritual. The smiles of people who sent me invitations and exchanged seashells with me during the Sea Gratis Festival. Save her. She's really understanding the balance of what it comes to be one with power.
Your Highness, Your Highness, thank...
The nearest shelter is to the north. Go. Before she thanks me, I harshly interrupt her. The lady in waiting steadies her weakened body. Her eyes, once soaked in despair, flickers briefly with hope before it dims.
The flood has washed away all the city's shelters. Aside from me, there are others who have nowhere to go.
Carrying debris, the roaring flood crashes against the temple. The building trembles, but it still remains steadfast. When I was 15, I oversaw its renovation, with the intention of making this symbol of faith as solid as the heavens. It was designed to stand tall for centuries. Tell everyone to take shelter in the Sea God's temple. I have to wonder what's evoking these weather conditions, because yes, we know Rafayel can affect the weather,
Your
but it's clearly
Highness,
not him.
we did a search and brought the people we found to the temple.
People who escaped the storm are put into small groups in the main hall. They anxiously watch as I stand next to the statue of the Sea God. I look outside. The rainfall wraps around Romirro like a sheet of rough gauze. It covers everything in a deathly white as far as I can see. Turning back, I instruct Very to distribute all the food supplies in the temple. When the storm eases, lead them to Mount Yuna. It's tall enough. The water will not reach you there. After I give out simple orders, I ignore the anxious gazes and hushed discussions around me as I turn to leave.
Your Highness?
Yes.
What if the rain never stops and the flood reaches Mount Yuna? What then? What if the third night comes?
All sounds seemingly vanish, only rainfall remains. Gazes pour in from all directions like water. Everyone stares at me as they wait for an answer about their future. That day will never come. The third night hasn't arrived yet, and the rain will stop. Many people turn their heads to look outside. They're searching for the bright... Sorry. She's a really strong character. Ooh. They're searching for the bright moon that hangs in the sky. The tense uneasiness in the temple has disappeared to some extent. As for how long this rain will last, that remains to be seen. Perhaps... Sorry, I'm already thinking about what's going to happen now. Perhaps what they need isn't a direct answer, but words that can serve as a pillar of support. Depressing the many uncertainties in my heart, I look at the misty blackness beyond the rain. My promise with Rafayel isn't valid anymore. If only this heart truly fell in love with him, then he'd prevent the sea from swallowing Romirro and allow me to live. But you did. Back when we decided to fall in love, neither of us anticipated what today would bring. I hope the sea he's in has pleasant skies. My heart aches again as I grasp the necklace he gave me. But that's his emissary. That's
What I want is a heart with pure and utter devotion. Its love for me should come from the very depths of one's soul. Do you think it is that?
I still can't give a definitive answer to the question Rafayel asked me that night. However, no matter what happens, I can't let Romirro sink. I must survive until the day I see Rafayel again. Several days later, the torrential rain finally stops while everyone sleeps. The howling winds subside to some extent. Wading through the accumulated muddy water, the ladies-in-waiting carry out my orders. They evacuate everyone from the city. I press my faintly aching temples, unable to dismiss the ominous premonition lingering in my heart for some reason.
Mom, look! The moon is being eaten!
An eclipse. Huh? I look up. The moon has vanished without a trace. Moonlight browns in murky gloom. Within the blink of an eye, black clouds swallow the last trace of light from heaven and earth.
The eclipse! The eclipse is here!
Prophecy from the top of the sea god! Romirro is about to be submerged!
After being momentarily stunned, I finally realize there are no black clouds in the sky. A massive wave is rising from the sea. Very, take everyone back to the temple. But these feeble struggles are no match for the approaching catastrophe. The wave swiftly unfurls its deathly embrace over Romirro. A loud sound explodes across the sky. For a moment, everything is as bright as day. Golden lightning cleaves through the massive wave. The waters flow back and reveal a familiar silhouette. The seashell necklace around my neck begins to shake violently. Rafayel! The massive wave collapses, and the large water splashes touch the land. Rafayel raises his tidebreaker trident, and the scales on his tail reflect a piercing cold light. The trident is swung down with great force. Heavy storm clouds are transformed into scorching, powerful winds, sweep across all of Romirro. Wherever the trident points, flames more brilliant than the blazing sun ignite across the water's surface.
The sea god? Is that the sea god? The sea god!
To control the currents and the tides, without a doubt, this is Rafayel's power. Find him. It's hide and seek, and she's finding him. Like mountains, the towering waves are stacked on top of one another. They spiral upward under the force of wind and fire to form columns of water that pierce the sea like spears. The violent ocean is suppressed by the sea god's ferocious power. Fire clashes against the seawater that had rushed into Romirro, and the sea is forced to retreat. I run toward Rafayel by stepping on the scattered floating debris that once made up a seawall. Only one thought races in my mind. Faster. I need to go faster. Ahead of me, Rafayel stands amidst unquenchable flames. His long hair is disheveled by the wind. Rafayel! Water and fire illuminate Rafayel's eyes as he looks at me. A divine power surges in his gaze. It's as fierce as the turbulent current surrounding him. Not even a trace of my image is reflected in his eyes.
You shouldn't have come here. Return to the shore if you don't want to be reduced to cinders.
Go to him. I swing my sword to create a gust. It cleaves the flames and I leap through the opening to reach Rafayel. Ignoring his trident that's positioned as a barrier before me, I grab his rigid arm and forcibly intertwine our fingers. This is exactly where I should be.
Death will greet those who attempt to wield a sea god's power with a human body.
I have to say also the lighting is really working to make the glowy aspects of his form all the more radiant and iridescent. It's really adding to his godly nature. This scene is actually one of the coolest things in the game. But I'm the one who has a bond with the sea god. Resonate. I won't die that easily. As soon as we resonate, a scorching heat that feels like it could burn everything spreads from Raphael's palm to my body. Divine power surges. At the same time, something else flows into my heart. In my daze, I realize it's everything Raphael has never put into words. In the dark depths of the ocean, the sea's ritual as him drifts down ethereally from the surface. It awakens his anticipation that's been suppressed for eons. During one of Romirro's short summers, the indifferent sea god's heart experienced pure contentment and joy for the first time. After he left the temple with the excuse of searching for pearls, the waves undulated like his fluctuating thoughts. Huh? All that time we spent together, my feelings for him were never unrequited. Well, duh, you're a fool. Oh my. Raphael supports my waist as he hugs me from behind. His embrace is scorching.
Feel it. Now wield it as if it were your own.
Divine power collides with my nerves. My blood boils as my eyes become the same color as Raphael's. Power representing heaven and earth advances from between our fingers. The last wave that threatens Romirro is intercepted by fierce flames. Is there resonance? Ability. Suddenly the waves freeze, just as they're about to surge forward with a howl. A beam of sunlight breaks through the thick clouds and shines upon me and Raphael. Immediately the waves fall as if weightless. They shed their ferocity and gently push toward the shore. My heart beats like a drum, but it's quickly drowned out by the jubilant distant cheers of relief from those who narrowly escaped disaster.
The tide has receded. Aren't you going to let go of my hand?
Never. I turn my head. The burning divine power in Raphael's eyes slowly fades, and they return to what I'm familiar with. I lightly hold his hand. I tighten my grip on his hand. What will you do if I don't let go? A long time passes. Then he smiles faintly.
Keep holding it. Neither of us will let go first.
And it's my favorite song again. Why would you press let go? Like, now I want to know what happens if you press let go, because I just think that's stupid. Why would you do that? This is such an incredible scene. They literally love each other. What the hell do you mean? Ooh. Take a moment. I didn't want to choose I don't know because I feel like it's not as cool of an answer. I thought that day will never come is more... It works more with her personality. I don't know. Their gazes instantly freeze.
But you're the bride of the sea god.
Someone speaks in a dazed voice and I smile faintly. The bride of the sea god is still a human. I thought you understood this hundreds of years ago. Why else would you have so easily abandoned me in the past? Silence falls over the temple. I sigh. I do not shelter them just so I could bring up old grievances. I've already done everything within my power. What remains is a challenge you must overcome by working together. Don't place all your hopes on me. Suppressing the many uncertainties in my heart, I look at the misty blackness beyond the rain. Okay, cool. So, she is still supporting the people. She's still being a good leader, despite everything. So, that was interesting that both dialogues do go back towards that, but the other one I just think was stronger for, like, showing her actual personality. Right, let me skip ahead. We're gonna press let go just to see what happens. I don't agree with this. Images from that vision flash before my eyes. After a long silence, I loosen my grip.
Since when did you become so obedient?
My fingers are caught as Raphael takes my hand.
Keep holding it. Neither of us will let go first.
I love that he's the one who takes a bit more control of the situation like that, but I like her holding on because I think that's important. He needs that confirmation that she is never going to let go of him. Okay, so now we're going into the final part. It was very interesting that the two Kindles were like the first thing and then the final thing. Like, it was like the entire journey shown in those animations. But, so I'm not gonna lie, like I haven't forgotten what happens in the trailer, but I've really fallen in love with their relationship during this journey, and I'm so happy it is actually just a direct continuation of God of the Tides. I am so happy that we have so much more of a context on Raphael as a character. There's so much lore here to like discuss and intertwine with other facets. Houses that were once submerged reappear. The ships, once swept away, are pushed back to shore by the waves. People emerge from the temple, where they sought refuge. They slowly begin to rebuild their home. After finding some medicine in the temple, I return to the shore by the port. Raphael is leaning against the rocks. Now it's her turn to help him. I'm so glad I R1'd him, because now I am like, yes, I have injured Raphael. His eyes are closed, and the dim daylight covers his body. His complexion looks paler than it actually is. He's asleep. I dip my finger into the ointment made from the gold feather algae. Then I gently apply it to the wounds on his arm. Although he appears all right at first glance, I soon notice several barely perceptible wounds on his body.
Be gentle. It hurts.
Ditto. You called me fragile, but a sea god's body isn't that sturdy. Despite saying those words, my movements become slower. I treat his wounds with the utmost care. Weren't you searching for pearls in the deep? Why did you return?
You thought I wouldn't?
I thought you'd be upset for a longer period of time.
I'm not upset. However, that doesn't mean I didn't care.
His fingertips touches my palm and gently traces one of its lines.
A Lemurian bond grows stronger with love. The deeper the connection is between the two parties, the more powerful it becomes.
I really love how he said that line. The tenderness, the intimacy, and like just the breathiness really added to how intimate and beautiful that felt.
Back then, our bond was so powerful that you were able to seal me away for thousands, no, tens of thousands of years. Only a love with such pure and utter devotion is capable of doing that.
First of all, that's a beautiful declaration, because it is true. She loves him so deeply. I'm literally going to choose the option. Then at the point where I think that it's going to, like, it would go back into neutral, I'll switch. You haven't made peace with it. It sounds like you haven't made peace with it.
Of course not.
He suddenly lowers his head and bites my knuckle. However, I don't dare to pull my hand away.
It wasn't a day, a month, or a year. What I endured is longer than what a human can possibly comprehend. Millions upon millions of years. How could I possibly let you off so easily?
Oh, she loved him so deeply. Of course, you need to avenge yourself by never leaving me again. After I finish applying the medicine, he stretches his body and brushes away the sand.
I heard you protected many...
Hold on. The model just glitched. I'm just gonna restart that. That's so funny. That was really jarring. That just really, like, took me out of the moment. You're jumping to conclusions. Aren't you jumping to conclusions? What if I didn't seal you away because I loved you?
Then tell me the truth. Go on now. Why did you seal me away?
His gaze is steadfast yet composed. He's waiting for me to give the answer he already anticipates. I surrender to his reasoning and gently kiss his cheek. So if you're playing coy, she's just like, fuck it. I love that. You aren't wrong. After I finish applying the medicine, he stretches his body and brushes away sand that clings to his skin.
I heard you protected many humans.
Yes, at the end of the day, I can't bear to see so many pointless deaths. I still don't like Romirro. I can't bring myself to watch it perish.
You didn't do anything wrong. Watching your kin march toward their demise is a pain more excruciating than dying. You didn't force yourself to endure that suffering. Well done.
They're such good partners to each other. Immediately, his tone shifts as he puts on a faux serious expression.
However, I do have objections in regards to letting those humans turn my bedchamber into a filthy mess.
It's not that bad. At least your pool's cleaned. I already ordered a few people to clean it. I promise your bedchamber will be spotless.
Good.
He pushes himself up, but he pauses as he's about to stand. What is it?
It's nothing.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened to his ears? Surging waves wash over the reef. As the water recedes, his tail transforms into a pair of legs.
Let's return to the temple. I need to see its condition to feel at ease.
Wait, pause. He also got rid of his facial markings. That's why I just felt so jarred, because I was like, wait, hold up. I nod a second later, and then I notice a small crack in the necklace's seashell. What caused the crack? After that day, Romirro gradually returns to its former state. There are no more sudden high tides, no more unexpected storms. The text in the Tome of the Sea God remains the same. The nightmare of Romirro being submerged seems to vanish into thin air, along with overcast sky. But the necklace... The prophecy didn't come to fruition. Romirro won't sink. The Sea God and his bride protected us. We must express our gratitude and worship them forever. The people are immersed in the joy of surviving a catastrophe. They renovate the temple so that it's more magnificent and elaborate, erect taller statues, and supply Rafayel and me an endless stream of gifts. But has the dust truly settled?
Your Highness.
Passing through the crowd of onlookers, Varese hurriedly approaches me. She bows before me. On the shore lies a dead, enormous silver fish. It's almost as long as several adult men, if they were lying down and lined up in a row.
It was discovered by the fishermen who were preparing to set sail this morning. We don't know if the fish washed ashore after it died or beached itself.
Creature from the deeps.
Maybe this enormous fish is a good omen from the heavens. We might have a bountiful fishing season in the near future.
I approach the creature to get a closer look. I feel like it's going to be gross. The unease that has been lingering on my heart grows heavier. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Calamitas Pisces that's mentioned in the ancient texts. It's a harbinger of misfortune, an omen of disaster. The dark clouds that appeared during the lunar eclipse haven't fully dissipated, and now the Calamitas Pisces has appeared. A mirror can still sink below the waves, and for now I can only act as if nothing is wrong. Worry not. Find a suitable place to bury it and clean up this area.
Yes, Your Highness. By the way, Romirro was spared thanks to you and the Sea God. The people want to prepare a feast to properly celebrate. They wish to invite you and the Sea God.
I understand. We'll discuss it when the time comes. I walk toward the temple and I tighten my grip around the seashell necklace. The crack has deepened these past few days. The seashell has begun to fracture in other places as well. I don't want to guess what this means. I just need to see Rafayel quickly. Maybe then I can dispel some of the unease in my heart. It's the everlasting covenant. They've defied fate as much as they can, but he's not fully awakened his powers still. This entire time he's still not fully awakened his powers because she has his heart. And I think that's only continuing to have more and more of a cost. Stopping the storm that night consumed too much of Rafayel's power. He's been staying in the temple to rest. Yet right now, I sense something is off. I can hear the sound of flowing water by the pool. When I left, he was still dozing by the water's edge. I rushed to the pool only to find the springs have dried up. The water resembles an inky black void. Worried that something happened to him, I dive into the water. The black water is unbearably cold. I grit my teeth and dive deeper. I soon spot Rafayel's figure. He appears to be unconscious as he sinks into this nothingness. Raphael! Mustering all the strength I can, I grab him. However, I'm not strong enough to pull him up. This won't work. I need to wake him up. How can she breathe underwater still? I steady my breathing while I press my hand against his chest. I try to resonate so I can awaken some of his power. Yet time passes. There's still no response. His power is like the dried up spring. With most of it gone, it cannot respond to my resonance or voice. Why is it like this? After the initial shock, I'm momentarily at a loss. And I notice the churning currents rushing into the deep. A bold idea appears before me. There's a location that's closely connected to the sea god. I hold the unconscious Raphael tightly against me and swim in the direction of the current. Fortunately, my guess was correct. The pool's current is connected to the sea itself, which allowed me to successfully get Raphael out of the temple. I prop Raphael against the reef, recalling how he summoned the Fantasia shark, and make the same gesture he did, and bring my hand to my lips, a whistle. After many clumsy attempts, I finally succeed. A skeletal Fantasia shark appears in the distance, at the far end of the sea. It swims to my side and uses its rigid, bony snout to give a friendly nudge to my hand. Can you take Raphael and me to the sea god's tomb again? It doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying, so I repeat myself several times. Finally, it extends its fin bone and gestures for Raphael and me to climb onto its back. Thank you. After I steady Raphael on its back, the Fantasia shark turns around and transports us to the ocean's depths. Unexpectedly, we arrive at the sea god's tomb with ease. Maybe it's because Raphael has already passed the trial. Even the guardian statue poses no challenge. After I explain the reason for our visit, they allow us to pass through the stone gates.
Young sea god. Oh, it's you two again.
Your quintessence. I'm here to make a request. I need your help. The statue of the sea god with the long beard lethargically lowers his weapon. He slowly turns his head to look at the unconscious Raphael.
He is about to fade from existence.
Uh-huh.
He still needs to reclaim his true power, yet he almost exhausted the small amount of divine energy he possesses.
What did he do to end up in such a state?
What a shame. He will become the youngest sea god to fade away in our history.
A lot. Several more sea god statues move out from their stone niches. They soon join the discussion. Is there a way to save him? We can't fade away. He can't fade away like this.
Of course.
He needs true love.
He needs a heart that loves him unconditionally.
When he obtains the power to protect Lemuria, and the ocean recognizes his ascension to godhood, he will live for a long, long time. An almost immortal life.
This is the only way to save him.
A heart that loves him unconditionally. I recall the hidden prophecy from the Tome of the Sea God. A heart that's filled with love is the best offering for a Lemurian. Will my heart be enough? Can my heart save him? The sea gods speak in hushed tones. Then the statue of the sea god with the long beard extends his hand toward me.
Are you willing to try?
Of course.
It will hurt. Bear with me for a moment.
The ancient sea god clenches his fist. A sharp pain shoots through my heart. As he guides the process, several threads of gentle light are drawn out. Strand by strand, they float into Raphael's chest. Enduring the lingering pain, I place my hand over him and try to resonate again. There's a response.
Your pure heart and the devotion from your love is enough. However, you will dissipate into sea foam once you give up this heart. That decision is yours to make.
The sea god's tomb. How did I end up here?
You've been unconscious for a long time. These sea gods woke you up. I quickly speak before the sea gods can say anything. Then I bow respectfully to them. The sea god with a long beard gives me a profound knowing look before slowly turning toward Raphael.
The last sea god of Lemuria. May you find true salvation.
Thank you.
The sea god statues slowly retreat into their niches. Raphael turns around and I meet his intense gaze.
You're hiding something from me.
You're the one who's been hiding things from me. You've expended too much of your power. Your body can't sustain itself anymore.
Are you underestimating me? Defying a prophecy from the tome of the sea god did take a considerable toll on me. But I'll recover in a century, give or take.
The prophecy hasn't changed, though. Romirro will still be submerged, yes? Seeing Raphael's expression, my heart sinks. It's correct.
Yes. But that doesn't mean it can't be changed. Romirro wasn't destroyed on the third night of the lunar eclipse. So for now, it won't sink below the waves.
But more third nights will come.
This is our turning point. Stop frowning. Let tomorrow worry about itself. As for the present...
He takes my hand and summons water currents to carry us upward.
It's almost dawn. We might be able to watch the sunrise as we head back.
The way this plays on the Little Mermaid, but it's her who turns to sea foam because she's the one who sacrifices herself for her beloved. And inevitably the fate that they were trying to avoid, they do sit back into. It's like what I said. This all leads to Rafayel MC coming together to inevitably be prisoners to their respective roles. As MC absorbs powers she resonates with, her ill-fated resonance here is to have mirrored Raphael's heart to their tragedy. After returning from the sea god's tomb, Raphael seems to have returned to his normal self. The water in the pool has become clear again. He also doesn't spend the entire day inside the temple. Instead, he enthusiastically takes me along to explore Romirro's streets, alleys, and wilderness. Just a tiny fragment of this heart's power is enough to revitalize him. If he received an entire heart, perhaps I'm still selfish. Faced with such a choice, I still cannot let go of my desire to live. But time is cruel, and doesn't give me the opportunity to. After a night of rain, dark clouds once again spread across the sky above Romirro. The time Raphael spends sleeping in the water increases with each passing day, and my necklace's seashell developed a deeper, longer crack. Raphael, the sky is cleared. Should we go to the foot of Mount Onyuna? The rest of my words are stuck in my throat. A large section of Raphael's tail that's immersed in the water has turned a dull grey white.
You're overthinking it. Humans have all sorts of hair colors. Why can't my tail change color?
Trying to avoid this is not going to help anyone, Raphael.
So, what were you saying about the foot of Mount Onyuna?
I was just wondering if you'd like to go out for a walk. He pauses, and his tail sways gently beneath the water surface.
I'm not in the mood.
You can't turn your tail into a pair of legs anymore?
Your imagination is getting wilder by the day.
He passed the ripples on the water's surface. Under the undulating waves, his tail transforms into legs.
You wake me from my peaceful nap and throw an accusation.
He adjusts his position to rest his head on my lap. Closes his eyes.
You owe me a sweet dream.
Alright. I gently stroke the top of his head and lean down to kiss him. The seashell around my neck dangles. It sways in front of Raphael's peaceful, sleeping expression. The cracks on its surface are glaring. I grasp the seashell and gently try to wipe away those marks. Pretend not to see the scales on his legs. I pretend Raphael isn't showing any signs of something being off. I pretend that everything on this land will remain as peaceful as it is today. It's the knowing a tragedy is coming. Several days later. Bouquets, lanterns, music. The plaza in the port is immersed in the sounds of celebration. It's like a grand farewell ceremony to disaster. Raphael stands far away from the humans. He watches the figure who's in the center of the crowd. She seems somewhat uncomfortable with that amount of enthusiasm. Slowly, however, the corners of her mouth curl. A slight smile appears on her face. He recalls those long stretches of time at the bottom of the silent ocean. The only sound he heard was the faint rattling of chains. With his eyes closed, he would construct an illusory world in his mind. He would imagine the splendor and wonder of Whirlpool City, the place that had been long forgotten. Then a different voice broke into his world one day. Stupid tome of the sea god. You're worthless in every sense of the word. If you're actually useful, you would have revealed the sea god's location. It gives you the right to only disclose the whereabouts of the bride of the sea god. It was a discourteous voice. It could be considered too loud to a certain extent. Yet it was like the sun that occasionally appeared above the sea. He realized it was impossible to dislike. Using what little strength he had, he spoke to her for the first time. Perhaps their ending was already predetermined from that moment. The sea god must kill his bride. To truly ascend to godhood, he must destroy their bond. He used his fate before, but now he doesn't want to accept this either.
We might have to actually bid each other farewell.
He recalls the moment when she first spoke his name. With fingertips stained in their blood, he traced his name into the palm of her hand, one letter at a time. Even so, he couldn't intertwine his fate with hers along the lines of the palm. In this way, they were spared from separation.
I need to leave Romirro again. We won't be seeing each other for some time.
You're not allowed. I frantically search for Raphael's figure in the crowd, but I only catch a message the sea breeze carried to me. Fortunately, our bond guides me to him. In a lit corner, I catch Raphael's fingers.
You were in a hurry. Are you scared I'd leave without saying goodbye?
Where are you going?
I'm just looking for pearls. Once I recover that part of my power, I'll return.
I don't believe you. His life force is fading away at an alarming rate. Under the illusion of an intact seashell lies a reality with cracks becoming increasingly more severe. His heart is also riddled with countless wounds. Raphael, is there anything you need me to do for you? Tell me. No matter what it is, I'll do it. Just say that you want your heart back. I'll return it to you.
No.
How long will you be gone?
It's hard to say. Maybe it'll be a year or two, a century or more. Perhaps even longer than that. Don't worry. Even after I'm gone, you and Romirro will survive. This is a god's promise to you.
Because the question then is, if there are no more sea gods, what of the Tome of the Sea God? Like, does it even count anymore? Does it even have precedence if there is no more sea gods? You know what I mean? Because it's the Tome of the Sea God, and he's the last sea god. But absolutely not. What is he planning to do? If he's making this kind of promise, it means he'll do something that I don't want to imagine. I won't be able to accept it. So when are you leaving? Let me see you off.
All right. I'll wait for you at sea.
My fingernails dig into my palm. The hesitation that swelled in my heart has finally crystallized into resolve. I will fulfill the promise I once made.
It's a simple melody, yet you still haven't learned it properly.
Romirro taught me how to be a ruler, not a musician.
Listen carefully. This is the last time I'll teach you.
The tides have changed.
The sea inevitably returns to where it belongs and separates from the land.
But the sea always meets the shore. We could see each other again.
You want to say something else?
I'll pray to the sea. I hope every ocean current carries you to bright, warm places.
The sea heard your wish.
You said it was once part of your heart. It's time to return it to where it belongs.
The place you hold in my heart far outweighs this little scale.
Because of my selfishness, I took the heart that belongs to you. Oh, I knew it was coming, but I didn't expect this to hurt. Now with the power of the sea god's vow, our covenant, Rafayel, obey my command. Reclaim this heart and end our everlasting bond.
No, I refuse to accept this betrayal.
This heart can save you. And Romirro, my death is worth more than my life.
The sea god doesn't need this heart. Our bond, it cannot end this way. I won't allow it.
Although our covenant has been broken, I'm one with the sea and stay with you forever. It's the way they were trapped within the confines of fate and just consistently paralleling each other. And he would have done the same. Only this time it was willing instead of what happened a lot of times. Daylight has arrived. The tides surge. Waves build upon waves. They're so powerful that they scatter the clouds in the sky. The black seawater bleeds crimson, and the red fades and takes the darkness with it. The sea's original azure hues reappear. The bells in Romirro toll ceaselessly as massive waves engulf the world. The land is transformed into a seabed. Seawater envelops every house, every patch of soil, every mountain range. It whispers and returns the memories from billions of years ago. Everyone steps onto a strange yet familiar homeland. They breathe the air that flows in the seawater. Lemurian memories awaken in their blood. Phantasmal whales leap from the water and return to the sea. They swim through the city that has been reborn. Wait, are you telling me Romirro... Okay, am I crazy or am I reading this right? Is Romirro Lemuria? And it needed to be engulfed. Whalefall City. The sea god stares at his hand. Oh no. Oh no. Then what does that mean of her sacrifice if it was inevitable, if that's how it was meant to go? The sea god stares at his hand. There lies the pearl ring given to him by a young woman. It still gleams with a lustrous radiance. It gently encircles his finger. It's like her embrace that never let him go. It shall keep him bound to the sea forevermore. Oh god, she is such a good protagonist. I really like her as a protagonist. She has so much strength, and usually I freaking hate the little mermaid type of stuff where it's like she sacrifices herself. But this variant, I love it so much. No wonder he's angry, and he's every right to be angry, and I'm so happy they found their way back to each other in the current timeline. No wonder no wonder it just kept happening, because it needed to return back to its original form. Oh god. But he needed his powers. Maybe that was a prerequisite for it to fully return. Sorry, I don't really have many cohesive thoughts right now. My lash is literally coming off because of the tears in my eyes. In reveries, the crystal clear ocean ornament, he found another romantic soul, just as he had wished, fell in love under the gaze of waves and blue. Unfading. That was genuinely such a perfect sequel. So much more to loop into other parts, but it did actually feel more conclusive. Don't get me wrong, there's so many memories, but now we have such a better understanding of Rafayel. But then what led to the second fall of Lemuria? If it was reborn. She did find him again. Apparently the water levels did drop. If that is Lemuria, if I am actually interpreting this correctly, if Romirro was Lemuria, or at least parts of its remains, the water levels had dropped. And so the surging tides were required to bring it back to its original state. Everyone there was Lemurian. Walkman has like must have had a misunderstanding. Like I guess that's what happens, and I do think I really appreciate how this game kind of touches on how like unreliable narrators. Things can be told you from a biased perspective or an incorrect perspective, or different ways of perceiving things can be seen, and you have to kind of acknowledge that. You can't necessarily just take information one-to-one as accurate sometimes when it comes from more biased personalities and stuff like that, or potentially like, for example, articles or whatnot. But, here's a Romirro. Lemurian God, easily one of the best things I have read from this game. The storytelling has become wonderful. I am so grateful for this. I think this was wonderful. I hope more people just watch this and witness this, because this really transcends the experience of just engaging with Rafayel and understanding his character. Now I want to go through all my 4 stars and 5 stars again with this context. If you stuck around with me during this very long version of going through the myth, I know it was probably shorter if you just watched the raw thing, then thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it. I probably will have way more to say in an actual lore myth deep dive at some other point with significantly more better laid out and well phrased points and examples, but that was truly so beautiful. I'm so excited to find out what else is to come in Rafayel's story and where we go from here. Thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.